I have what I think is the solution for baseball. Because right now, you know what the boring reality is? Shohei Ohtani is your National League MVP. Congrats, Ohtani, everybody, Ohtani. Your American League MVP. Aaron Judge. All rise. You know what would be fun? If, like every other sport, there were one MVP. This is the most archaic, we forgot to make the change thing in sports right now. Is there an Eastern Conference MVP and a Western Conference in the NBA? No. Is there an AFC and an NFC MVP? No.
I mean, is it fair to compare the sports? I don't know, but you're right.
Yeah.
When interleague became a thing and remained a thing, maybe we should have made that change.
But not only when interleague started happening.
But even still, let's say we made that change, Aaron Judge is your MVP. That's
interleague did happen, but now it's at the point where you don't even play your own division as much. You equally play the teams in the league. There's no DH in the National League. I'm sorry, there is a DH in the National League.
Yeah,
so
and his name is Shohei Ohtani, and he's not even playing in the field.
So
another reason why Judge is your MVP, and he's having a better season.
But there is no difference now. Now, traditionally, when our grandpappies were young, National League and American League didn't play each other. I don't need to remind you that, but that's just the facts. That's why there were 2 Cy Youngs, 2 MVPs, because it was the American League, National League. And what made the World Series so special was that they played one time in the World Series, the best in the AL versus the best in the NL.
Well, you're getting ahead of yourself because earlier today, Rich and I do a Patreon every day. Join our Patreon, COVINO and Rich, Monday through Thursday. We chop it up. It's uncensored. And Rich just speaks nonsense, to be honest, because we were talking about how great of a season they're both having. And I'm like, yeah, but Judge is having a better season. Wait a second.
Says who?
Are you serious about that?
I'm going to be like,
I don't know. Says every stat except stolen bases and plate appearances.
I'm going to be like Trump's lawyer.
Shohei has had more plate appearances? Whippity-doo! Is he doing something that's never been done before? Yeah. But guess what? Aaron Judge beats him in every stat except for stolen bases and plate appearances.
All right.
So is this a hate on Shohei conversation? Absolutely not. This is let me smack you back to reality because you're prisoner of the Shohei moment conversation. I love what Shohei's doing for the game. In fact, I read that Jose Canseco walked so that Shohei could run. Did you see Canseco tweeted that?
He mistyped Ohtani's name.
Did you see that? Shohei Ohtani. Jose Canseco.
I walk so Ohtani could run.
I am a big fan of what Shohei's doing, so don't be misled. But when you're telling me he's better than Judge, I'm going to have to debate you. Let me read a little something and then give you the stats. This is something I read on YankeeFans.com.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Completely unbiased.
I'll be back.
Man.
I'll be back, everybody.
It's also based on stats, you bonehead.
Yes, completely unbiased.
This year, Aaron Judge is clearly having a stronger season than Shohei Ohtani. Sure, it's debatable, but let me break it down.
Wait, can I give you this article? Can I give you this article? It's.
I don't care where it's from. It's based on the actual numbers they're producing, okay?
You're so full of crap.
Ohtani primarily playing DH, and he's not pitching. If he was pitching and playing the field, there's no question I would have a different conversation here. That's not the case. He's missing out on a critical defensive contribution. While Ohtani's 50-50 season is very impressive, never been done, let's consider the current landscape. Stealing bases is easier than ever. Bigger bases, they're pizza boxes.
Says who?
Says Rob Parker. Fugazi. Longer sliding mitts, restriction on pitchers, pickoff moves. You got to keep it in consideration whether you believe it or not. In contrast, Judge's all-around game, power hitting, stellar defense, and clutch performances make him the standout. And I quote, it's not even close. And you could say, yeah, because you got that from a Yankees blog, you big nerd. Well, let me read you the stats. And when I say you, Rich, I'm saying the collective you who just want to jump on the hype train.
Well, hold on. I have an article for you.
I love Ohtani.
I have an article. It's all the reasons Kamala Harris stinks, and it's from Trump, MAGA.org. You want to check it out?
Debate the stats, you goonburgers, all right? Because you're sipping on the what? On the sake. Be realistic. Aaron Judge, he wins in WAR. He wins in games played.
Why does it have to be sake?
Hold on. Plate appearances and hits is the only thing, and stolen bases is the only thing Ohtani wins on, and he barely has more hits. He has 5 more hits. Aaron Judge has more home runs, more RBIs.
How many more home runs?
Batting at right now?
Yeah.
Ohtani has 53. Judge has 55. Okay.
That's 2.
Okay.
You make it sound like he's slaying it.
Aaron Judge is batting 323. Ohtani's batting 321. That's a 22-point difference.
Batting
okay?
average doesn't have emphasis anymore.
Judge has a higher OBP, slugging percentage, OPS plus. Aaron Judge, and I'll say it one more time, leads in every category, every single one, except for plate appearances, hits, because Ohtani leads by like 5, and stolen bases. You're going to tell me, based on that, Ohtani, who's not even playing the field, is the MVP? Or are you just prisoner of the moment?
Ohtani adds a layer of speed that Judge does not have.
Judge leads in every category, and he's playing a Gold Glove center field with a cannon of an arm.
Is he a Gold Glover?
Yes.
This year?
I would think so. I don't know. I didn't vote.
Thank
How
God.
can you debate that? I get that you're excited about Ohtani. I get what he's doing is incredibly impressive. But when you go stat for stat, Judge is beating him in almost every stat.
I don't care at all. I'm a Mets fan. You're a Yankees fan. Danny, some of the guys here are
when
Dodgers
I say
fans.
that, what did you do? You rolled your eyes and tried to make the joke on me. Oh, isn't it cute that he thinks that? Oh, where'd you get that? From the Yankees blog? Oh,
Where did you get
Do you
it?
hear this, silly boy? Silly boy? You mean the
YankeeFan.com.
stats? You mean what the stats say? So I ask you, Fox Sports Radio Nation, I gave you the stats. I hope that helps. I'm not trying to be condescending.
Is everything about stats?
Yes, because Judge is a monster, and Judge is playing both sides of the field. Ohtani is not. If this was a regular Ohtani season and he was pitching or playing the field, no question, there would be even more of a debate. There's no debate to even be had. He had an impressive stat. He starts an exclusive club. He's the VIP of that exclusive club, 50-50. But he's not leading in any other important stat other than stolen bases.
But let's go to stolen bases for a second, Cove.
Let's go to it.
You don't believe
Since
the
when
whole...
is that the greatest thing?
Well, it's
is
not.
Ellie De La Cruz getting
It's-
any high
no,
fives?
He's getting a lot of hype, though.
Yeah, so what?
Well, look,
we
though,
haven't
I
cared about that
disagree.
since Ricky Henderson.
I disagree, though, where they said the landscape and it's easier to steal bases right now. Is it? I looked at the stats for that.
I'm not buying into that. It's just an argument.
All
that
right,
people are
that's what I
making.
wanted to ask you
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the stats don't prove that.
Yeah, no.
Last year, same amount of stolen bases in the league. If it was easy to steal bases right now, there'd be a ton of players with 50 or more stolen bases. That's not the case. There's only
it's
two
a narrative
guys.
I'm throwing out there.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily buy into that. I don't think that because you know what? That's an equalizer for any base stealer, right? So what's the excuse for other people not following suit and stealing more bases? I'm not really here to argue that. I know that's just what people are saying. But when you go stat for stat, Shohei only has them in 3 stats. One of them is plate appearances.
Ohtani struck out more.
Okay, so I'm saying, like, a lot of people
I'm sorry. Judge has struck out more.
Judge has struck out more?
Judge strikes out more than Ohtani.
And by the way, the Dodgers only have one more win over the Yankees. So, as far as who's the MVP, I still say it's Judge. It's just the current hype you're dealing with.
Of course.
It's the current fire that Shohei caught. Judge has been doing it steadily all season long. So we posed the question to you, Fox Sports Radio Nation, based on this. Who's having a better season, Judge or Ohtani? And then take it for what Rich brought up before. If you were to pick one MVP.
Yeah, why do we have 2?
He thinks it should be one MVP anyway.
Yeah, but why do we have 2 MVPs?
And I don't necessarily disagree with you there. I don't know why they never changed that. Maybe there is a reason to it, but I don't know it.
But what would the reason be that we couldn't figure out?
I'm not debating you on that. You want to pick one MVP? Go for it. I still say it's Judge.
But that's where the fun debate happens. I'm saying the MVP race is boring because if a sports writer doesn't pick Ohtani and Judge, they should get their vote revoked. The fun conversation is...
Oh, and by the way, who had that big gambling scandal earlier this season? Just saying. Oh, and what were you doing? Making the whole laugh about me.
I think he overcame that.
Rich kept saying how I'm looking through Yankee goggles.
You are.
Yankee goggles. Really? Did Yankee goggles change the stats before my eyes? Because this is what the stats say. And it goes, you look at the graph, only 3 are highlighted on Shohei's side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out of 12 important stats, Judge has 9 of them that he wins in. Shohei has 3. I mean, you do the math. I can't see how anybody could debate that. Because when I said it was obvious earlier, which was like,
So
sure,
you think that if there were one MVP in baseball,
it would be Judge?
you think it would be unanimous?
No, it would be a close one, but I think realistically it would be Judge. The 50-50, it's a round number. It's sweet. It's cool. It's awesome. I can't take anything away from that. But, Judge still has more home runs. If you said Shohei ends up with more home runs, I'd be a little more impressed, and I'd say, yeah, wow.
All right, well, what about this then?
And you know what? That could happen. We got 6 games left.
The final thought on this, and then we'll turn to baseball. I'm sorry, NFL. It's easy because they're NL and AL, right? It's obvious. Now, they competed when he was on the Angels. That was when it was like, ooh, Judge or Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with this silly, like we've had forever, NL and AL MVP, was anyone talking about Aaron Judge at all this year? Do you want to put hype involved in this? Because people have been talking
he was
about
chasing his own AL home run record.
No one in the world of sports was talking about Aaron Judge's year. Meanwhile, people have been talking about Ohtani.
Judge was chasing a triple crown. What are you talking about? Yes, they were talking about him.
Who?
People. I don't know. Everybody? Your parents? Cuckoo's nest.
Danny G, Dan Byer, do you know anyone that was talking about Aaron
chasing
Judge
a triple crown
to the degree that they talked about Ohtani this year?
He was on a pace for 64, 63 home runs at one point.
It's like you're trying to convince me something negative about the Niners. You just can't do it. You're
How
a homer.
How can you say no one's talking about Aaron Judge? He was putting up a greater season this year than he did.
Would anyone talk about him?
That's because you tune out.
I don't go to Yankee fans.
It's not about Yankee fans. Every time what am I doing? Watching highlights, and what do you say? You make fun of me every time. I watch TV like an old guy. That's what they're talking about.
I'm not trying to sit on the fence here. I do think us being based in Southern California does have a Ohtani slant to it. I would think that the conversation in New York in surrounding areas was much more about Aaron Judge at that point. So because I do agree with that. I think Ohtani was more of the conversation. But again, we're in Southern California, we're in Los Angeles, and we're surrounded by that.
I think the 50-50 just was something very special.
It is. Oh, my God. I'm a fan of this,
And
dude.
I think the 50-50...
I love that he's 50-50 because you know what? He could be, even this year, a 60-60 guy.
But that would take a lot.
I don't know, but in the future, he made it a possibility. 50-50 seemed out of reach. It took, 35 years to get to 50-50? Since Canseco did it, I believe yesterday was the anniversary, right, of when Canseco became the first 40-40 guy.
He walks Ohtani could run.
Ohtani. Yeah. I think Ohtani's opened the door to the possibility of 60-60. I don't think we've seen the best of this guy. So this comes with no hate against Ohtani, only love of what he's doing. I'm such a fan of what he's doing. But if you're going to tell me that he's better than Judge this year, I think you're prisoner of the moment and you're out of your mind.
Okay. I know it doesn't apply to the postseason because postseason isn't accounted for when they do MVP voting. But would you, deep down inside, account for postseason? Who had a better year? Even though that's not how they base MVP.
Right. Okay. So
let's say the postseason starts.
Yeah.
And Aaron Judge lays an egg, and Ohtani carries the Dodgers. Are you still being like better year?
I mean, that's a tough question because that's not how
MVPs are voted on. But
yeah, I'd be open to debate that when all's said and done, and the Dodgers are led by Ohtani. Then I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Hey, Aaron Judge may have had the better season, but Ohtani had the better year. I'm willing to accept that. I'm not against Ohtani. I'm just against people who are just jumping on the hype train because of what just recently happened and the incredible streak that Ohtani has been on. So you're just real excited about that right now. It's like you're on that adrenaline rush. You just got off the roller coaster. Guess what? I've been riding that roller coaster all season with Judge.
Let me throw this out. Would you give Ohtani a little bit more of an edge because of Mookie Betts' injury?
Ooh, that's a good one.
When Betts was out for 2 months, Ohtani's the guy. He's batting leadoff. When Betts comes back, it's his deal. But to keep them afloat during those 2 months,
Judge has
had Soto.
Judge hasn't had Stanton.
You could argue that Soto was the Yankees this year. Like, I feel like Soto.
Are you looking at Aaron Judge's numbers at all?
I feel like
Please look at them. I'm going to show you this graph just so you could zip your trap. Will you look at
I
this?
don't need to look at his stats.
Will you look at this?
Which one? Because he has more highlighted numbers. You have a little meme from the Facebook.
Shohei only beats him in 3 categories. There's no debate.
All right.
There's no debate. 877-99 on Fox. Look, he did pick up the slack for when Betts was hurt, no doubt. But guess what he didn't do? He didn't play the field at all season. So does he win the NL MVP? Hands down, no question. I don't care what Big Papi thinks about that. He wins that. Is he having a better season than Judge? Hells to the nah.
On FSR. Getting fired up about Judge, huh?
Well, don't be mistaken. This conversation trickled in from earlier where Rich was trying to make it out like I was a crazy person
Sort of fun.
to think it wasn't Ohtani. It's like, no, dude, you're just not reading the stats here. You know, Rich is giving the MVP via the old eye test. He's just saying, yeah, according to my eye, Ohtani's having the better season. I'm like, no, dude, according to everything else,
But at
it's
least
Judge.
But at least say it was
And
funny.
he's playing both sides of the ball.
At least say it was funny when you quoted YankeeFans.com or something like that. That was,
Yeah, well, give me credit for the funny because I read it on purpose.
come
Now, I'll give you a little nugget here, though. When Jose Canseco, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. When Jose Canseco went 40-40, we were all blown away. That was in our heyday of collecting cards and, wow, Canseco.
Whoa!
Right? That was 1988. He went 40-40, and I believe he won the MVP that year.
Well, wouldn't that?
So that
Makes
does
sense.
add to your, well, Shohei's having the better year then. But Shohei will be the NL MVP. What we're asking here right now is who's having a better season. Because when you do the side-by-side comparison, Judge is dominating. But the eye test may lead you to think what Rich is implying, that it's Ohtani.
But sometimes
As he
a guy
smirks at me like I'm wrong.
and his story is bigger than, oh, he has 2 more home runs. Like Mike in Cincinnati hit us up and he said, Covino, Ohtani was on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt last week. This is like a big, huge story. Ohtani's just
Because
the best player in New York.
International superstar.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Judge is still leading in every major category, except for stolen bases, and he has like 5 less hits. That's it.
Let's say what's up to Matt in South Carolina. Covino and Rich, what's up, buddy? Oh,
Matt?
hold on.
Where's Matt?
Hey, Matt, you there?
No, Matt, you're in the wrong mode, Danny.
I hope Matt's okay.
Put him on hold. I got it.
Matt, I hope you're all right. 877-99 on Fox, at Covino and Rich.
All right, let's say hi to Tyler in Penn. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, bud?
So I think another aspect you could take into consideration is, obviously Aaron Judge is leading in every category except for a few. But if you look at, there's the title itself, most valuable player, you could probably look at or extrapolate how much, value they actually bring to the team in terms of like jersey sales or getting new eyes and new fan base.
Hold on.
So,
Let's not stray off the conversation or the question. Who's having a better season? Who's having a better season?
Ooh, good
That's
question.
really what the question is. They're both MVPs. Rich is saying there should only be one MVP anyway.
I think
they're
there should
both
be.
MVPs.
I mean, they're both MVPs.
But
and
who's having the better
everyone's going to be
season?
happy. You'll be happy. Danny will be happy. Everyone will be happy.
That's become the online debate, the conversation around the water cooler, the debate at the bar, at the barber shop, and here on Fox Sports Radio.
James, New York State. What's up, bud?
Hey, James.
What's happening, guys?
What's up?
My argument, you're saying that Ohtani doesn't play a position, but you're failing to realize he's rehabbing from his position. He's supposed to be a pitcher. and he's
Who's
still out there
having
going 50-50.
a better
So your
season?
argument-
It's
your
not who's a
argument
better
about him
player.
not playing a
No, you're
position-
changing the argument. You're moving the
No, I'm
goalposts,
not.
as they say. Yes, you are. He's not playing a position. He's just rehabbing. He hasn't been in the
He's
field.
rehabbing the position while doing this.
Dude,
He's
definitely having a
rehabbing
better
while
season.
doing this.
So what? Has he done anything stat-wise on the field and during a game? No.
He's
On
going.
the base path, he does a lot more than
Dude,
Judge.
he's not even playing in the field. If you were to say he's pitching, yeah, now we got a real debate.
All right. Jerry in Lancaster. What's up, Jerry?
What's up, fellas?
Hey.
Órale,
What's
vatos.
up, buddy?
So check this out, man. So if Ohtani was playing a full-time position, there's no way he can keep up what he's doing now.
Yeah, he's also he has sole focus on that. I think that's helping his batting.
He has nothing else to do but hit the damn ball.
Yeah, I think that does add to, why hasn't he done 50-50 before? Because he's solely focused on this, and it's great. We're reaping the rewards of him not pitching
So
this
you
season.
think he's only 50-50 because he's not pitching?
I think an argument can be made. Has he done it before?
No, but has Judge done this before?
Yes. In fact, he hit 62 2 years ago.
Not the batting average that you pointed out.
He's always been a solid batting average.
Let's
Just
go to Kyle.
Never this high.
Kyle,
what's up, Kyle? You're on the
Virginia.
show. Covino and Rich. The question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me make it clear because people are changing the question. Who's having a better season? I'm not saying who's a better all-around baseball player. Shohei Ohtani. Any day of the week. Who's having a better season right now?
I think you're underselling the stolen bases part. The comparison is, all right, every category except 3, Judge leads. But he leads by a very small
margin.
Percentage. Like, it's not a lot, not much. But where the biggest difference is Judge has 10 stolen bases. 10.
10
So
to
if they come
53, I
up,
believe.
and there's 2 separate home runs, right? So if Judge comes up or Ohtani comes up, no outs. If you walk Judge, okay, all right, I can get the next guy's out. If you walk Ohtani, he's liable to be in third at 3 pitches. And now he's in scoring.
Judge also has beats him by 50 points in slugging percentage,
But
and
that's-
20-something
that
points in
doesn't
batting
matter.
average. It does matter.
Slugging percentage is now a stat. Tell me how you
How about-
calculate
how about-
that. You don't
how
even
about
know how
batting
you
average?
calculate that.
How about batting average? That doesn't matter anymore to you? Why? Because why?
Because analytics tell you the batting average is
Well, guess
not.
what?
There's only like 5
Guess
guys
what?
that hit over 300.
Call me old school. It matters to me.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any debate, but I'll take your phone calls. I love hearing it. He's a one-dimensional player this season. This season. That's all. That's all we're saying. Any other year, it's Ohtani. We've never seen anything like it. We'll take 3 more phone calls.
I'm
and,
curious
wrap it up.
I'm curious as to see how both do in the postseason. I know that doesn't account for anything. But
That's actually a really that's a really, let's say it's too close to call right now, right, Rich?
Yeah.
Let's say what Ohtani's been able to do, since it's never been done before, makes it so close to call, even though he's not pitching or playing in the field.
Yeah.
I mean, Big Poppy's saying he shouldn't even be MVP.
Jaime hit us up and said Judge leads most categories, but most importantly, the category of Covino's heart.
Most meaning like almost all of them except for stolen bases. I think it's a really interesting conversation when all's said and done to see who takes their team further. And honestly, I will say my money would be more on Ohtani, just more of an unflappable kind of guy who just I think would deliver in those high-pressure moments where Judge, I don't know, I'm not as confident in Judge in those moments. I would give the edge to Ohtani. I'm not hating on Ohtani.
We'll see. And like
I'm
I
just
said,
being realistic.
The bummer of all of it is that baseball, the one thing they haven't changed over the years is they still have an AL, an NL, MVP, and Cy Young.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
You know, it never dawned. I mean,
Tradition?
it dawned on me, but now with no pitchers hitting and a universal DH, and every team plays every other team, and there's like interleague plays, like, you know, not just the novelty wore off. Teams play every team. So why have the AL and NL?
Probably because it's been going on since 1931, and you know how old school, you know, Ebenezer and all these old guys who vote for this feel about those things.
I think it's undeniable that when Judge gets up in the batter's box, you think something special is going to happen. I just think that Ohtani brings such a different level of play. There's something about him. There's something magical.
Yes, no doubt. But this season, who's having a better one?
All right, let's go to Dan Byer for an update, and we'll zip through your feedback next. And I want to get to NFL. We got to talk a little Joe Burrow. We got to talk about how the NFL continues to just be drunk.
And props to DeMar Hamlin with a nice moment yesterday.
What's up, DB?
Another stat you guys may be overlooking is that Ohtani does have the edge on Judge, is that Ohtani does lead him in bookies that may or may not have taken the blame for his gambling problem.
Oh, yeah,
So,
and how about this one? Who leads in overpriced, expensive bobbleheads?
Definitely Ohtani. yeah.
Okay, see? It's not as lopsided as you
Who's
think.
a bigger international superstar? Ohtani by far. Who's a bigger worldwide star? Ohtani by far.
Who's a better pet owner? Who's a better pet owner?
Ohtani by far.
He's got a
Who's
dog.
having a better season? Judge.
Yeah.
Jeez, let the guy have it.
Who's got better teeth? Ohtani.
I don't know. Judge got his done.
Oh, it's fixed? It doesn't count.
It's been fixed.